It's time to get this done, man. This has been too long. I've been sitting, but we about to do it. And it's gonna be a good one. YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Buddha back in the building. This is gonna be the one, I know it. You can see in front of me, we got Alice, the Cyber Slayer, a beast of a unit, an incredible unit to use in this game. It is why she is so highly demanded at the moment. I think when she first rolled around, people didn't know how much of a powerhouse she was. I mean, you could tell, but through experience, it takes a while for these characters to really be fleshed out, as I've said before, and figure out what they really can do. And man, Alice does not disappoint. Of course, this is going to be one of my showcases. There are still things I need to get. There's still more I want to do with this character that I won't be able to show off in this video. But since she is a hot topic, you can summon for her right now. I want to show off what mine can do, things that I've developed thus far, and talk about if you should summon, if it's worth your crystals to maybe try and go for a couple pulls. A lot of people probably already have, because I'm doing this video a little after her banner initially dropped. What was it? About 6 days ago on the 31st. But if you're still debating, or maybe you just jumped into the game recently, you're wondering what characters to spend for, we're about to show off one of the characters that is available. So, like my unit showcases usually go, we're going to start off in action. We've got Alice here. I'm going to be taking her on a multi-wave stage fight. This is one of the final stages in the current story that has a good amount of waves with it, which is where I think she really shines, because her coverage in eliminating enemies is spectacular. Her S1, S2, and S3 to an extent all cover so much of the map, of the battle map. Whenever you're trying to clear these stages, I wanted to show off the speed at which she can help you finish these quests off at. So we're going to start. I do want to highlight the arc I'm bringing. Recently on the podcast, Crypt, Tweaks, and I were talking. Crypt brought up the question, what are some slept on R/SR arcs that you have? And this is actually one I recently leveled up for the purpose of Alice herself. If you look at that attribute at level 10, SET speed plus 15%, which is great because Alice wants her skills as fast as possible. I don't know if this stacks with auto haste, so that might be the one caveat to this not being as great as I'm hoping that it is. But also, it gives her light damage plus 25%, which is Alice's main attacking element. And at the battle start, party's dark resistance is plus 20, so it benefits the whole team if you're fighting dark specifically, but it's still nice. Can't hurt. The main benefits of this arc on her is that SET speed and light damage increase. We're going to go ahead and bring it. I'm running it on auto just so you can see that she doesn't really take much to just dominate. Even running without manual control, she's going to be doing great things. Now, the AI is funny because it doesn't start by using skills all of the time. However, once she started using skills, you see how crazy she can get. We see her damage capping immediately. This is a later stage in the story, so I wanted to make sure to pick a stage that maybe wasn't the weakest enemies, because if we're taking on early game, she'd probably be capping every single hit. I know when we fight the tortoises and the stone enemies, they've got a little more defense built into them, I think, naturally, so we don't quite see those damage caps. However, once we take on kind of some of just neutral, they have a low resistance to light. They don't have any extra defenses. Even at this late stage in the game, you see those 10,999s. Her natural damage cap is actually 9,999, but you'll see after we're done showcasing what she looks like in battle that I do have that multiplayer ring equipped to her, which gives her that extra 1,000 damage cap for physical attacks, which is just truly a sight to behold. You can see she's been spamming her S1. She's got all her skill stocks completely full, because in these multi-wave fights I also have Pose of Glory on her, so she's getting an influx of skill charge every time the wave resets and while we're fighting. I actually want to use this ultimate so we can see how powerful it is. She should be capping very easily as 26,499 with the red multiplayer ring. Without it, it would be 24,999, which is still an incredible amount. But the board is wiped so quick. Again, that was all done on auto. You could see the coverage of the battle map that Alice provides, which is, in my opinion, one of the reasons she's so new player friendly. She's such a good character for newer players who are still progressing through the story. She's going to help you clear these levels very quickly. And of course, you know, I gotta bring her into something that is actually challenging, that is quote-unquote end game. I've been showcasing a lot of my units on Pablo. I wanted to mix it up this time because I know that she also serves very well in this stage. Zleorg the Devourer, one of the longest boss fights in the game because of how tanky he is. I wanted to bring her, especially if you have the UR arc El Dravana. She's going to hit that much harder. Her special is going to be that much more effective because of that UR arc's capability to raise your special damage cap. However, we don't have that. Unfortunately, I can't show it off. So I'm bringing my usual coveted Phoenix Blow. Is one of my favorite arcs to take on any long stage boss fight. It gives us that break plus 100% upon enemy defeat, special gauge plus 10%. This will be nice if we're able to take out some of the spirits that Zleorg spawns, because that will just charge our special up quicker for the next usage. And it also gives you a flat skill damage plus 25%. So I'm bringing that along. Another one that's really good for her is Killing Machines. If I just can click the right thing. This is actually the arc that comes with her. I've shown this off in my Nero showcase. It's another really good general arc for any physical type damage dealer. It's especially good for her because it boosts the special based on the skill stock. However, in Alice's case, you don't really need that. I think with the current build I have, she's going to be capping her special pretty easily. It would just be almost guaranteed with Killing Machines in itself. I want her to focus more on her skill damage, S1, 2, and 3, and her break, which is why I'm bringing Phoenix Blow, since she is kind of the main damage dealer I'm showing off. And then along with her, I'm not on the level that Tweaks is yet. He's got a video of Alice soloing Pablo, so I know it can be done if you've got those pro strats and skills ready to go. I am not there yet. So I think when I do these unit showcases for the time being, I'm just going to bring the ultra support that I know I have. SM Tyria plus Gen is going to give Alice skill stock with Gen's SCT charging, and Tyria is going to keep the whole team alive. Hopefully, we can beat this stage by relying on just Alice and her DPS capabilities. We're going to find out. We're going to find out. However, this will still give us a good look at her damage potential, how she looks when facing this trial in particular. So if you haven't fought this guy before, just get yourself ready, do a little research before, because he is a pain in the butt. You can see he's got 75 light resistance. We do have Trishula on Alice, so hopefully it won't be that big of an issue. I'm gonna go ahead and start using Gen's glass records and then just start spamming some Alice skills. We're seeing she's crossing up into that 10,900, or she's crossing into that 10,000 damage mark, which I think is fine for now. I'm going to go ahead and use another Gen Glass record just so we can keep getting those skill charges. He's pretty much spamming those immediately. Yeah, we're dealing some very, very nice damage to this guy. I don't know this boss fight well enough to know if he increases his defenses at some point. So I guess we'll find out. I guess we will find out. I did just waste that S3 since he was immune, it seems. He was immune to that attack. Here we go. I'm going to use her special since he did just spawn a spirit. And it's dealing a sizable amount of damage. We're seeing that 26,000 damage cap, which is great. I'm very happy to see that. So yeah, Alice is dealing some really, really great damage right here. I'm going to go ahead and use a glass record, but also use Gen's ultimate because of its usefulness in debuffing the enemy, which will make Alice look that much better. I really don't want to make this a, Gen highlight and Tyria highlight. However, they are going to be essential for making whatever character I'm showcasing, in this case Alice, look even better. We're going to use Glass Record again just to keep getting that skill stock that is so valuable for her. I'm not as close to her special as I'd like to be, but there is our first break where we should be seeing a good amount of damage. She's hitting that damage cap fairly easily because of Zleorg's lower defenses while in break mode. And we're going to go ahead and use this ultimate before he slips out of that. That should have killed the spirit. Yeah, we did over 1,000,000 health right there, which is wonderful to see. There he spawned another spirit, which is quite annoying. But hopefully we can get her ultimate charged up pretty quickly. I'm just going to keep spamming Glass Records because we've got Spirit Breath on Alice. We've got some flinching. We've got some flinching magic going on right now, which is definitely not fun. Definitely not fun. Oh, that is not as much damage on the spirit as I'd like. However, we're still dealing a good amount of damage to him. You know what I actually need? I need Alice's MP so I can activate Slayer mode. That's probably why our damage went back down, or there is a very noticeable decrease in it. Because of this Slayer mode right here, you can't really see where I'm tapping, but it says activate Slayer mode. We need 40 MP for it. So let me see if I can do enough normal attacks to recharge, because we do have Goddess Kiss on her. It looks like we are actually locked out of using skills, so I have no choice but to just spam some regular attacks, which is good because whenever I'm free of this, what do we got on us? What's it called? Sealed. So apparently this sealed effect gets into play. Unable to use skills or spells. That is very unfortunate. I'm not sure how long it lasts, but as soon as it goes away, we can take advantage of Auto Slayer mode. Yeah, we've got enough MP for 2 Auto Slayer modes now, and there we go. I'm going to go ahead and hit it. And now we can start seeing some nice damage numbers again. So keep that in mind when you are running her in extensive fights. She does need to reactivate that Auto Slayer mode every 40 seconds, I believe, is the timer that it's on. All right, I'm going to focus on beating this event. And then we'll see the timestamp, how long it actually took me. Because we know that Alice is dealing the majority of damage to Zleorg, as we see. Get some extra skill stock, and I believe this should be the end right here. We break him. We use a final Alice S3 to end it. It took me a minute. It took me a good 15 minutes. It can probably be done a lot sooner with Alice if you have the right skills, but I just took my general DPS Alice build into this fight. But you can see with the proper support, of course, we had Gen there to charge up her skills as much as we wanted. We had Tyria there to give us the ultimate survivability, basically made us invulnerable to dying. But there's also that aspect of clearing the stage, dealing enough damage in order to beat it before the timer runs out. Alice easily takes care of that role just by herself, proven by the quest we just took on. So here we are. Finally, I got the Alice in action footage that I wanted, so we can go ahead and take a look at how exactly I've built her and maybe a couple alternatives, things that I would like to do to her in the future, or looking at alternative situational skills you might want to think about. We can see with my current build, she is enhanced to level 100. She's only been awakened to 4-star, so there are some natural stat boosts that she's yet to get. I've got her ability aboard unlocked 108 out of 108. She's rocking 5,700 HP, 254 MP, 1905 strength, 1355 defense, 669 intelligence, and 1096 mind. You can see the green boosts are stat boosts from the equipment that I have on her. We'll take a look at that in a second. She's got some nice resistances, but a heavy 40, minus 40 elemental resistance. I'm not going to move the phone much so I can avoid the wire, the signal disconnecting. That's annoying. So I might have to get some backups here very soon. What were we talking about? Elemental resistances. Everything's looking good except that fat -40 to thunder resistance. That's what makes DB Ray such a threat to her in PvP. So that is definitely a drawback to note if you are running Cyber Slayer Alice. She is nil to poison, weak to blind. She's neutral to silence, nil to curse, which is very, very good, but she is weak to stun, and nil to illness. You can see I've got her 82 out of 82 skill stock used. I did snag up a prism for her when the Valentine's event rolled around. You were able to pick up a unit prism for her in the Valentine's shop. Looking at her abilities, skill 1, EB Blade. Jump slash with a mid-range light combo attack. Skill 2, EMS Inferno. Long-range light attack around target in a medium area. And skill 3 is EBD Ripper. Man, light combo attack in a medium area. That is just one of the most fun animations to watch, in my opinion. Her jumping around, swirling, creating this vortex of light damage doom. And then her special Catastrophe, powerful light combo attack against all enemies. We saw her abuse that in the Zleorg fight. Her traits, first one, limiter release, special fill rate plus 20%. In Slayer mode, special damage plus 120% and skill damage cap plus 15,000. So when we don't have that Slayer mode, which you need to reset every 40 seconds at the cost of 40 MP, she's dealing much less damage with that special. So make sure to keep that in mind when you're using her. Her second trait, Crisis Prevention System. When close to death, automatically use 10% of max MP to greatly recover HP. Chance to temporarily make received damage minus 35% and evade physical attacks. This is once per wave, so she kind of has this built-in awaken into this trait. Another reason why she's got great sustainability on her own and why she's a generally busted DPS unit to run. Let's jump into the skill build I have on her. Now you know the deal. Anything with a 0 skill cost comes in her kit innately, and anything that I have added onto her manually will see that SC cost in the top right. So her 2 magic skills, Ether Full Release, which I didn't utilize in any of the showcases, but it's extremely good for clutch times. If you have full, or not full, but 200 MP, you pop this and it acts as honey elixir. She's got a built-in honey elixir for herself where it uses all the MP. So keep in mind, if you have like 250 MP, it only takes 200 MP to activate it, but you're going to lose all that 250, right? So just as it says, it uses all MP to greatly restore the unit's HP, so it's a free heal, and fully restore the unit's SCT. So it gives you a full heal and gives you all skill stock. So it's amazing in kind of quick fights. If you just want to start the wave off with all of your skills, you pop this immediately and get to work. The second magic skill is Activate Slayer Mode, which is what we discussed extensively. Activate Slayer Mode, temporary SCT recovery speed plus 15%, and skill/specials use HP for 35% damage increase. That's a pretty fat number, so you can see why her damage was much higher. Not only does that have its own effect, but we also know that it ties into her trait, which allows her special to hit that much harder. I chose to give her basically all the attack ups I have. Attack up 1, 2, 3, and max, you see, are all manually placed on her. I did give her defense up. If you weren't able to pick up her prism and you can only get her to that 80 SC, which is the natural SC reserve cap, I'd probably take off defense up 1 and attack up 1, and that would put me at that 80 SC mark. So you're not losing a lot by taking away the 2 SC if you didn't grab that prism. She comes with resolve up 3 and 5. I did give her crit ups 1 and 2. Comes with Proud Force, comes with this skill, Anti-Fizz Armor, chance of negating physical damage. Another reason why she is as tanky as she is. I decided to slap Illusion on her. Is it stacking on top of these other damage mitigators that she has? I'm not completely sure, I'm being honest with you. On the off chance that it does. If not, I take it off, have 5 SC to spare, reallocate that. She comes with Auto Protection, physical damage reduction, auto barrier, magic damage reduction, comes with auto haste. You can tell she's got an insane amount of SCT charge speed built into her kit as well. Patience increases her defense close to death. I did give her pride, so at max HP, she has that increase in strength. She comes with light attack raise 1, light critical raise. I gave her Pose of Glory because you could see that's part of the reason why in that multi-wave fight, she was starting the next wave with all her skill stock because she's getting all that charge time from the wave that she just took care of all of the enemies, cleaned up shop, swept them off. She then takes all that SCT charge and is ready for your next wave to just start popping off skills. I have Spirit Breath on her, of course, because every manual heal, including Glass Record with Gen or even God heals. I gave her Goddess Kiss so she can get that MP regen if I need to pop Auto Slayers or if I even need to take her all the way up to 200 to pop her Ether Full Release. I gave her Surprise Attack. Now, I think I could do a little more with a Surprise Attack backstab build on her because if you notice, her S1 will jump in front of a target and then cut through them, and her finishing position is behind that target. So any attacks made from that point are going to be dealing this extra 50% damage. I would like to put backstab on her, maybe enhance that damage a bit more because she can easily and effectively get behind her opponents. She comes with Blessed Speed, so she's moving quickly, comes with piercing physical attacks, have a chance to greatly reduce enemy defense, comes with dual wield, comes with both sword boosts. You can tell she's got some great damage multipliers already built into her, comes with both machine boosts, comes with both ultimate boosts. I gave her skill charge 1 and skill charge 2 just to stack on top of Pose of Glory, so that's why in these multi-wave fights this build is extremely good to start every wave off with a ton of skill stock. She comes with charge special, which at the boss wave, special gauge plus 25%. Very often you will clear maybe, let's say, 3 to 5 waves, and then even if you're shy, you're immediately going to start that final boss wave off with her special because of this skill. I gave her Sharp Eyes, which does make playing around her MP drain a little tricky, but we managed it. We managed it pretty well. It's very manageable, and it does give her that 50% increase in damage. I slapped on Giant Killing, but you can just as easily take this off and use that 9 SC for any Slayer skills. Plant Slayer if you're fighting Pablo, Soldier Slayer if you're taking her into PvP. This is a good area of SC to make those swaps. She's got Activate Combat Program, Battle Start, Autocast Brave, Speed, and Critical. But that does go away once she's incapacitated, which means if she does drop to 0 health, even if she has an auto revive or if she is revived by, let's say, Spirit Maiden Tyria, she's going to lose her Brave, Critical, and Speed. So keep that in mind. When she dies, she is going to lose a bit of her performance. She does have Auto Slayer mode, which did confuse me, and I will clarify. Battle Start, Auto Activate Slayer mode. Now, typically, your auto skills, they last the entire duration of the battle. However, in this case, that's not what's happening. This just pops the Slayer mode skill that she comes with for 40 seconds at the start of battle. That's why in long and extended fights, you got to remember to keep casting that Activate Slayer mode magic skill that she has in order to keep those buffs on her. But when you do start off the match, you've got it on you for the first 40 seconds. And then finally, this is another skill that is kind of exclusive. Not everyone's going to have it if you are just starting or weren't able to pick up the LR Van Arc during the DMC collab, but Phone Booth works incredible on her because it does give 50% HP, 30 seconds of SCT, and 10% special gauge. So that coupled with her charge special ability plus 35%, it makes starting on boss stages great because your special is almost halfway filled immediately, or if you're not at your special, you are definitely going to be as soon as you attempt whatever last wave of the stage you're fighting. But again, Phone Booth and Giant Killing, if you take those off, that gives you 19 SC to play with. I could take off Giant Killing and put on, like I said, Backstab. And I'm sure a lot of you who have her already have already gotten creative with her or can think of ways to utilize 19 SC. That's a really good amount. Looking at equipment. Now, this is totally, I consider, free-to-play friendly, right? Sword of the Lost Souls, arguably one of the best swords, if not the best sword in the game. Works fantastic on her because it gives her that physical and special attack damage plus 15%. But then also, if special damage is resisted, ignore resistance. So it acts as a trishula for her special attack. And we know that the potential of her special is extremely important. So if you eliminate any light resistances that the enemy may have, you basically can cap with that special under the right circumstances 100% of the time with this sword. So it looks fantastic with Alice. Following that, Covert Gun Trishula. I mean, if I need to explain why this is the best physical type damage dealer weapon in the game, you are definitely brand new. So let me reiterate, it does what I just said, but for your skills. If damage is originally reduced to enemies' attribute resistance, ignore attribute resistance. So her S1, S2, S3 are all light damage. This machine type is going to allow her to ignore any light element resistances that the enemy might have. So she has no barriers when it comes to damaging the enemy with her S1, 2, 3, and special. This combination is incredible on her, not only for what I just described, but also because you've now got your sword boost and sword high boost covered with the first weapon, and then you've got your machine boost and machine high boost covered with Trishula. Wings of the Archangel is an Arc Ether reward from the Archangel Smile, which is on the general pool. Gives SCT speed plus 10%, and after defeating wave, recover some SCT. We've seen how much SCT recharge she comes built in her, and the skills I've added on top of that. This only makes it even faster. I basically want her to have skill stock on her 100% of the time, so she could just keep dishing out crazy damage, and very quickly. And then finally, I've got the ring, baby. The ring, I'm very proud that I grinded this up. I didn't even talk about the stat boost that these equipment give her, but you can see it right there. However, the description for this ring, physical damage cap plus 1,000 and special damage cap plus 1,500. Like I was saying, this is why her max damage potential with her skills is now 10,999 with this build, and her special is hitting 26,499. Just take off the 1,000 for her skills, take off the 1,500 for her special. That's her innate damage cap that she comes with. If you haven't gotten far enough in the story and beaten Zleorg yet, but you've been putting in some work and gotten to gold 1 in PvP, you can also put this sword on top of her, which is going to be fantastic. It gives you the fat 212 strength, 30 defense, physical attack damage plus 12%, critical rate plus 3%. This sword is going to look fantastic on any physical type damage dealer that you put it on. Tech Blade Loop I want to highlight yet again. This really isn't going to benefit her except for her S2. This was the reason I could carry this, or I should say this was part of the reason I could basically carry any team during the Jalabanga multiplayer stage. It allowed her S2 to hit damage cap almost 100% of the time. So anytime you can utilize her long range missiles firing, keep this weapon in mind for those types of strategies. Oh, and I think that about sums up my Cyber Slayer Alice build. There is a lot to her. There's a lot that can still be done to her, but I just wanted to make sure to show off how much progress I have made with Alice. You know, I've still got to awaken her to 6-star. I've still got to get some Slayers and other skills I'd like to have in her arsenal to maybe replace giant killing, replace phone booth when I don't really need it. So just think of this as a snapshot as to how I have my Alice built. Hopefully it helps you make some decisions on the skills you want to put on her, or gives you a reference on what you want to achieve when you're able to use all of the skills that I have available here. Now, should you summon for homegirl Alice, I'm going to go into speculation mode. After talking and discussing with peers for the last couple of weeks, you know, I thought it was very smart that they released a powerhouse like DeGrogue, and then I think with Alice being a light damage dealer, it counters DeGrogue very well, so it makes her desirable. However, the speculator in me believes that Kyle is about to steamroll Shift Kyle. Let me specify. Shift Kyle is about to steamroll into the game come the 2nd year anniversary on the 15th as a fire and light damage dealer. He's going to take the role of king light damage dealer. He's going to be the real counter to the newest unit to grow that they just put out. So will that make Alice a little less relevant as the light DPS role? Possibly, maybe. But I will say that she's just extremely fun to use. Don't just think of characters in their max optimal state. How do they rank in tier lists and stuff? You also got to take into consideration, how do characters feel when you're actually playing the game with them. I love Alice when she's jumping all over the screen, jumps over to this side, launches her missiles back over there. It's just extremely fun and satisfying to watch. Her damage output is crazy. The amount of hits that she gets out is extremely nice. So I will not tell you to not summon for her. I think she's extremely fun to use. Some of the aspects that make her so good, for example, the Tower of Trials. If you've been around for my live streams or if you haven't seen one yet, she allows me and many players to basically not need a mage in order to deal with enemies that can't get hit by physical damage, because her special smacks so hard and it charges so fast that as soon as you launch that, all those enemies are going to be taken care of. She comes with just so much viability and usefulness in all endgame content. I think if you want to throw a couple multi-summons, especially if you're new and you have all the gems in the world to grind from story, go ahead, go for this girl. But like I said, I think I've said it before, I would do kind of the every other approach when summoning for her. Don't just spend every crystal you get trying to get her while her banner's up. I would maybe save up a good, maybe like 3,000 or 6,000, and then once you save up 9,000 for that third multi-spin, throw it at Alice's banner. Hope you get lucky. Kind of a conservative spending on her banner would be my final recommendation, I think. And that's about it. That's about it for this video. I'm trying to think of anything else I want to cover, and I'll probably remember as soon as I hit stop recording, but I need to get to editing this because there's a lot I need to cut out in that Zleorg fight. Took your boy a minute to beat, but we were able to do it because this girl is such a powerhouse when it comes to the damage output. Oh, what did you think? Did I do our girl Alice justice? Are there certain things that I completely missed, completely went over my head, like, Buddha, why didn't you use this? This makes her hit damage cap 100% of the time. Might be because I don't have it, but I just want to hear your thoughts in the comments so we can all read and learn from each other. Ooh! But with that being said, I think that's all I got for you. So, until next time, work hard, play harder. See you in the next video.